Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for committee to allow us present in this symposium. And our title is Epiphyte Attachment Preference to Euchema denticulatum Talus and Vertical Net Cultivation Tools. And me, Bubut and Salvia is the team of this research. We are from Faculty of Fishery Marine Science, Halol University, Indonesia. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, our introductions of this research is, as we know that the seaweed is most popular cultivated by community in the coastal area, most village, and the people living in the village and near the ocean that they will cultivate the seaweed aside the fishermen actually. And why? Because this is really very easy method to get the money. They are just using the line and put it in the ocean. After 45 days, they can harvest it, drying it, and get the money. That is very easy because of the very easy method. So that's why they face a lot of problem. One of the most problem that affect of the growth of the seaweed is the epiphyte. Epiphyte that is one of the most problem affected by the seaweed growth in this cultivation area. Aside that, we are also found ascites disease and also epifaun. But in this research, we are trying focus on only in the epiphyte. And our method is we are try conducted this research at Lakeba coastal area in Bau City. This is a location for seaweed culture in Southeast Sulawesi, and this is located in the eastern Indonesia. Southeast Sulawesi is one of the Indonesian seaweed development center because a lot of people living in the Southeast Sulawesi is cultivated seaweed. And the area is, if you're looking at the center of Indonesia, this is the Southeast Sulawesi, and then one of the island in Southeast Sulawesi is Bau-Bau, that is Buton, and one big city in the Bau-Bau is in Buton, that is in Bau-Bau. Just the front of the Bau-Bau, they have a seaweed cultivation area. And this is really, really good for seaweed cultivations because the topography is allow seaweed cultivations to grow well. And this is our method, vertical net. Our patent registration is this, and then we call it the jaring alga. That is very, that is very simple method to cultivate the seaweed. This is to avoid the grazing by siganid and sea turtle. So that's why. That is to done this research, even though to analyze the epiphyte, we avoid the grazing of the siganid and then sea turtle. So that's why we are using this one of our patent. Actually, we have 12 patent, and this is one of the patent in seaweed cultivation method. This is activity of the grazing activity of the that there's a fish and sometimes also the sea turtle. So that's why we avoid this activity to increase the success of this research. And then sample collections method, we are trying to find that, and we analyze that one cultivate, one fertinet, we are using 40 Talus, Euchema denticulatum, that is one of the most popular, aside the Capapicus alvarezi, and then the initial weight is 100 gram, and then we are trying to now clean the epiphyte, because we are trying to know the sun number, we are trying to know the species compositions of the epiphyte attachment of our location. They attach on the seaweed and then also on the tools of the seaweed, particularly in the vertical net. And then we are trying to collecting after and every 10 days, we are trying to collecting data for this epiphyte attachment. And data analysis also, we analyze macroepiphyte was determine the attachment rate that in this research, and then we are calculating with relevant pattern, and then the analysis attachment rate and the water quality parameter we are processed by statistical analysis. And we are try also using the Young et al. That is for analyze the specific growth rate of this of Capapicus alvarezi. That for the Euchema denticulatum. And then the result of our result is we have found only 5 species actually that attachment on the talus of the epiphyte. I mean that is Talus of Euchema denticulatum, we have found 5 species. Actually, one unidentified, but we are not categorized in this research. And the popular, I mean that the most dominant one is Condopicus papilosa and Acanthopora species. And species Acanthopora and Condorpicus is that's most dominant because during during the 10 days first, that is really abundant. Particular Acanthopora, that is 433 individual per centimeter. That is very abundant on the talus of the Euchema denticulatum. And then another is we are also found the Cratomopora, Cratomopora crassa, that is because very difficult to find the individual, so we await the weight of the, we are determine the weight of the Cratomorpha crassa. Then we have found that is only appears in then day 10 and then day 20, that is appears. And then in vertical net tools, we have found also most abundant compared than on the talus. So that's why while we have found that a lot of these species also, particular in day 30, is really abundant. Because they are also attachment in the net and then also on the pipe of the vertical net. And the first one is Condopicus papilosa and Acanthopora specify. And also aside that, we are also found Chlorophyta is Ditiocta diactoma, and another one is also Chaetomorpha crassa. We are also found this is abundant. I mean that is also appears during day 10 and day 20 and then 30. This also appears in the station 1, station 2, and station 3. And what about the seaweed growth inside the vertical net? That is still grow. I mean that is not the abundance of the epiphyte is really not affected by the growth of the seaweed because initial weight we have found 50, and then we are try to get that is after 30 days they are really good growth, and then one is particular in station 3 that is very high growth of this seaweed. And for the analysis correlations between the water quality parameters and then the macro epiphyte, I mean that for the attachment of the epiphyte, that we have found that the two parameter, brightness and then salinity, is really affected for the density of the epiphyte in this our research. So the conclusions of our research is the epiphyte attachment preference cultivations is good attachment in the equipment, in the tools. And then we have found 7 species particular. I mean that is 6 species is on the Euchema denticulatum and 7 species on the tools of vertical net. And then the most dominant epiphyte is Acanthopora spicifera and Leucynthia papilosa. That is 130 individu per centimeter and then 433 individu per centimeter. And then there were no significant difference between epiphyte density and vertical net on the talus. That is no significant. And then for the brightness, water transparency, I mean that in the salinity is the water quality with have a effect with the talus of the growth of the seaweed. Particular. And then this is research documentations, our documentations during our research. And thank you very much for Ministry of Research, Technology and Higher Education. And now is a Departemen Pendidikan dan Kebudayaan. That is a thank you very much for the grant. And then we are also thanks for our gratitude for Faculty of Fishery and Marine Science, Fishery Laboratory, and LPPM Halol University. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.